Hey everyone, I just wanted to give a little word of encouragement on a day like today, which for many folks is a reason for joy, a reason for hope. For others, not so much. There's no one right way to respond or react or be on a day like today. But I do think that there's reason for hope beyond whatever you might make of the circumstances of the world, of politics or culture or whatever. And I just want to share that with you today. We read a text on Sunday, and I just want to read a little section of that text. It's from Psalm 139. It says, "O Lord, you have searched me and known me. You know when I sit down and when I rise up. You discern my thoughts from far away. You search out my path and my lying down and are acquainted with all my ways. Even before a word is on my tongue, O Lord, you know it completely." So, of course, God cares about politics. Of course, God cares about, these things that are going on around us. I think the cat just slammed into the door trying to get in the sanctuary. But in all of the machinations and the complexities of global politics, God has not forgotten you. That's just something I want you to remember today. That you're not just folded into broader history. God has a specific concern for you in your life and where you're at, and puts an incredible amount of effort into it. I think I used to read a text like this as just a set of attributes about an omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent God who is all-powerful and just knew everything about us all the time. But that's not the language that's used here. The language that's used here is of relationship and the work it takes to build and maintain relationship, right? God has searched me and known me. God discerns my thoughts. These are active verbs. God is doing some sort of work to try and understand me, to try to understand you. You search out my path, my lying down, and you're acquainted with all my ways. So God is doing this work of trying to know the author, of trying to know me, of trying to know you. And God puts so much effort into it that even before a word is on my tongue, O Lord, you know it completely. You might have that relationship with some folks where you know them so well that before they even speak, you know what they're going to say, And I think that's the picture here of a God that cares so deeply about us, that God is putting in this sort of work to understand who we are and knows what we're going to say, not just because God knows all things and is this perfect sort of singular being, God of the Greek philosophers, but because God is invested in relationship with us. And so that's something that should be very encouraging, to know that God is out there, not just out there, but right here, doing the work to understand who you are and be in relationship with you. And I just say, what kind of energy are you giving back to that relationship? Sometimes if you don't feel that, you don't feel God there, God so present, God trying to understand you, think about if you're doing any of this, right? Are you searching God out, trying to know God? Are you discerning God's thoughts? Are you searching out God's path? Are you acquainted with all of God's ways? Of course, you're not going to be, there's these limitations, we're limited in certain ways. But are you putting that sort of effort in? I mean, think about the relationships you have with other people. What would the nature of that relationship be? Would it be a healthy relationship if there was just one side doing all the work to try to understand you, or you doing all the work to understand and know someone else and become so acquainted with them, but that energy wasn't reciprocated? It wouldn't be a very healthy relationship. It wouldn't feel very beneficial. It wouldn't feel mutual or reciprocal. So I just also want to encourage that while God is doing this work to know you and care for you and be present to you, you should also return that energy. And if both of y'all, are putting in that work, what kind of relationship could you have? So that's there. That's possible. God is present to you. God is interested in you. God wants to know you. And return that energy. See where that takes you. So be blessed today. There's much to be hopeful about. There's much to be thankful for. Even if today is a day of mourning for whatever reason, know that there is hope beyond the present, hope in God, hope in the people. Keep believing. Stay blessed. Peace.